So what do you do if you feel like giving up? Today I'm going to share with you the 3 tips I have for successfully homeschooling when things are hard. Hi, welcome to Born for Homeschool. My name is Rachel Bourne, and here at Born for Homeschool we share tips and tricks, information, and encouragement to simply support your homeschool. I'm the wife of Daniel and the mom of 4 kiddos, and I'm homeschooling the 3 oldest kids. So we have a kindergartner through a 5th grader. So the 3 things I want to share with you today are: number 1, find support; number 2, be consistent; and maybe the balance of number 2 is number 3, which is be flexible. So let's talk about the first tip, which is finding support. So in finding support, my husband and I moved to a new area, and right at the beginning of the pandemic, we moved in and the following weekend, the world shut down. And so finding support, and especially homeschool support, during the last 2 years has been so difficult for me. But this can be not just a co-op or homeschooler or homeschool family. This can also be books. I have found so much support over the last few years in books and in blogs, YouTube channels. Those have been excellent resources for me in finding support. Depending on your life circumstances and where you live and the country you live in and the state you live in, and so many things are dependent on what support may look like for you. This could be something like a co-op or a homeschool meetup group. This could be just a homeschool mom that you meet with once a month, some sort of support for you as a homeschooler. In some seasons of life, we have not been able to meet with other homeschoolers, or we have not been able to find a co-op that met our needs or fit well with our family. And so we have found support in other ways. Another form of support could be a YouTube channel, and that is the entire reason I created Born for Homeschool here on YouTube, is that I wanted to create a space of community and support for homeschoolers. And if you're a homeschooler, I hope that you subscribe here to Born for Homeschool. I hope that if you have comments or thoughts or questions or suggestions, I hope you leave them in the comment section below. So thanks so much for being here today and for making Born for Homeschool a community of support for homeschoolers. The second thing is to be consistent, and this is to prioritize and protect your homeschool time, your learning time. Even if you're an unschooler, protect the time that you're growing and learning. And this has been really key because life happens and nobody is perfect, and things tend to creep in, and it's really hard to make sure that you're consistent. And not just consistent in curriculum and learning and growing, but also consistent in daily investing in your kids, daily investing in your relationship with them. And there are several ways I wanted to share with you about building relationships with your kids on a daily basis. And a few ideas I had for that were things that I've done to build relationships with my children on a daily basis. Especially while homeschooling, it's really important to build strong relationships. So I'm going to give you a couple of thoughts on building relationships with your kids. And the first one is spending time with them and giving them your full attention. Putting your device down, closing your laptop, looking them in the eyes, listening to their stories, engaging with them, asking questions, listening to their passions, hearing about the book they're reading, all ways to engage with your child. An excellent way to connect with them and to build your relationship with them. And obviously, all of these will depend on the age and stage of your children, but that's a great way to start, giving them your time and attention. Isn't that what we want? We want time and attention and connection. So the second thing is to speak words of life to them. Give them truth and encouragement and support. Give them respect and honor. Teach them what it means to honor one another in your words, and model the behavior of speaking truth and speaking life into them. Speak encouragement to them. Build them up with your words. And kind of in that realm, if you mess up, say you're sorry. Admit that you were wrong and ask forgiveness. That is I mess up on a daily basis. If you're human, I'm kind of guessing that you do too. So making sure that we just admit when we're wrong and allow them to see that humility and how important that is in a relationship. And so that would be another way. Gifts or cards, tokens of love and appreciation, those are really important. How often does your child write notes or leave little gifts around the house for you? Like my 7-year-old does that all the time. And so reciprocating that, you don't have to buy them expensive things, just a note saying I love you. Another way to build your relationship with your child is to serve them. And obviously when they're tiny or when they're small, you serve them all the time. You pour out your life for them, and they're so dependent on you. And yet as they grow older, it's easy to forget how much it means and how much love it shows when you serve someone. And so that's been something that I've been trying to do as far as serving my children and not just demanding their service for our family. So, and then the last one, which seems pretty obvious as far as building relationships and showing love, would be physical touch, like giving them hugs and, brushing out their hair. And in this world of virtual relationships, and in this world of screens and like buttons, it is so important that we show love and affection to our children. And I'll be honest, this is not my personality. And you might have children who this is not their personality and they don't want you hugging on them all the time. But there may be children that need this, that need your touch, that need your love and affection. So those are just a few ways to consistently invest in your children on a daily basis. So the third tip I have to be successful is to be flexible. And this kind of feels like an oxymoron to the second tip, which is to be consistent. But my life is not all sunshine and rainbows. I don't know if you can see this giant red dumpster behind me, but my life is crazy right now. We're in the middle of remodeling and rebuilding our home. We, just started with co-ops and play dates and meeting new people and making new friends and building relationships outside of our home and new areas of ministry. And so life is so busy and crazy. And the days where I have this certain picture of what homeschool should look like, I have to sometimes be flexible with that. And instead of this perfect plan or idea or thing that I think that our homeschool should look like, sometimes it looks completely different. And it's watching workers pour concrete and working on 82 steps of building Legos, finding the value of money and talking about money and letting them purchase things with money. Like, these are all valuable life lessons and part of schooling, but it's not the perfect day that I had planned or the perfect day that I had in my mind for our homeschool. And so I have, this video is not perfect. And that's such a struggle for me. Like, I wanted it to be perfect. I planned this video, I recorded it already one time, and it was wonderful. The lighting was beautiful, the background was how it should be, and then I've had so much trouble with my computer. Our hard drive has crashed. And so I am sitting here in my van and making this video because our house is so crazy loud, and I didn't have time to record it again with the perfect background, and yet I had these things that I wanted to share. And so here is this totally imperfect video that I wanted to share with you because I thought it would be helpful. Because as I was driving home, dropping my girls off for choir and bells today, I was thinking that these three things, support, consistency, and flexibility, these are ways to be successful in anything in life. Anything. You have to be consistent, you have to be flexible as God changes your plans. I mean, there's a verse where it talks about the man's heart plans his way, but the Lord directs his path. So you have to plan, you know, find support for whatever you're doing and plan, be consistent, do what you can. But then as the Lord directs your steps, then be flexible and just do with what you have. So this is my encouragement to you today. Embrace the imperfect and be consistent and find support. It's so important to have support. I started Born for Homeschool because I wanted to create a community of support. So if you're here and you have suggestions or tips or anything else that you want to add that would be helpful or encouraging to someone, please leave it in the comments below. We need each other. We need community. We need relationship and connection. And so please join our community here. And thanks so much for watching today. I will see you again in my next video.